Привет всем. Значит, продолжаем проходить A Noire. Не забывай подписываться на канал, ставить лайк, оставлять комментарии. Всем заранее спасибо.
We will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sounds familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
One little twist. She was 13 if she was a day.
I think we bust in there and find the goddamn thing.
Another body. And Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
When exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Phelps? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for?
You know anything about this, man? You really think I'm gonna clear? Very much. Is anybody making coffee soon?
Parker or Green? I don't know who these were.
I've seen people like you, but I had to pay admission.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sakes.
And he always maintained he was set up.
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
Killed someone! Where'd you learn how to drive?
calm down.
Are you trying to kill me?
You boys ready? Follow me.
Whoa there! Slow and steady, come on!
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. You got it?
I get it, Rusty. Just don't like it. We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Herb is having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that one?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. The Dahlia letters are genuine. The man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Mullen.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own vanity.
KGPL to any Central unit. The citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Central unit, identify.
Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them.
Hey, can you give me a hand? I got a hard case I need to break. Leave that car in front of that hydrant and I'll give you a ticket.
What are you thinking, Ray?
The city keeps tossing us dead bodies. We're just running to catch up.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Leave that car in front of that hydrant and I'll give you a ticket.
Someone was trying to get her to come home. We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her. This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating. Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Hey, can you give me a hand? I got a hard case I need to break.
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her. It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop! Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty. Leave that car in front of that hydrant and I'll give you a ticket.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks.
read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah. Yeah, I read about that.
Those people are starving. They can't do that.
They want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? I guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
Suspects to be taken into custody at the trolley station on Lucas Avenue. Stand by for further.
drink, fellas?
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
Do you want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey. What did you make of McCaffrey?
There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles.
I meant as a suspect, Rusty.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
She kept a bed here, but I probably shouldn't have let her. An alcoholic in a liquor store. That was never going to work out, was it?
We'll take a look around. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey. She wasn't always such a loner. I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Not many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
King.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central. Code 2.
11 King, en route. Let's not keep the man waiting, Phelps.
If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
Hey,
There's such a thing as soap, you know. See him? I saw his picture in the paper. He worked that case with the lady that got cut up, like the Dahlia. Ah, one of these days.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick, but she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And follow up on Evelyn Summers. I want daily reports.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
I didn't want to arrest him, so I gave him a dusting.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
You gonna argue with something? I can't go back to sleep. Sorry. Son, you're a couple of slates short of a full read. How long is this gonna take?
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you.
Did you know, Mr. Kowski? What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? Is this a picture of your car? Can you take these places off? Okay! You think you know right? That's correct. Is the captain in?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
You trying to take me?
He was in the bathtub, and they'd taken one of his fingers.
Hey, look. Do this when I lose my life.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn.
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What's it got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Shots fired. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. Unit to handle code 3 identified.
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Terrible shame. Means there's nobody to let us in. You want to do the honors, Phelps?
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene.
Optimistic, Cole. Doesn't give me anything to go on.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
That's the guy. I hear he's an honest cop. Now, there's an oxymoron for you.
Grosvenor McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey?
Do
Sit
not
down
lose
and
that
we'll
son
talk.
of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
There he is, officer!
Hurry!
You a runner,
He's gonna
McCaffrey?
catch him.
Stay and fight the good fight.
There he is. See him?
Give it up, LAPD!
Lock him up. Throw away the key.
Can't we talk about this?
idiot!
He's dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me. Put him down with my sap.
Beat her up so bad. When I found him, I returned the favor.
No. That's the cop from the newspapers.
You want me to pull this out? What the hell is the LAPD up to these days?
I'm out of here. I used to be indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure.
You can't expect me to thoroughly blind out, can you? I don't want no part of it. If Captain finds out, we're dead.
The main reason Santa's so jolly is because he knows where all the bad girls live.
Are there matters without building in this city anymore? No way, right? You really think I'm gonna squeal? Very much. You trying to take me down? No way! What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? No entiendo. You think someone else?
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Hey, do you guys need me to stick around much longer?
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
That's correct. You need me to sign some papers or something?
You're a real asshole. You know that? This guy's got a screw loose.
Hey, look. Do this mean I lose my life?
Hey, don't mind me.
Beat her up so bad. When I found him, I returned the favor.
I think his name is Phelps. He brought in the case for that poor lady killed near City Hall.
I've got no more for you.
That's the cop from the newspapers. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian, any more than staying in the garage makes you a car.
What the hell?
I'm out of here.
I don't want no part of it. If Captain finds out, we're dead. Do you need to find some papers or something? This is your automobile, correct?
Yeah, I want to make homicide. You know you've got it made if you can get to that task.
No. Can you bring me a car? Yeah. I didn't need to job.
Shit! You're gonna kill someone!
He's good looking for a policeman.
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
Cut from the newspaper. Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
Is somebody gonna tell us what the hell is going on?
He's the cop who arrested that movie producer. It's about time some of those movie people went to jail. I think they're untouchable.
This guy's kind of screw loose.
That's correct. Do I need to find someone to look after the union? Isn't there anything else you can do? Afraid not.
I could get discovered swanning around in those. If you were twice as smart, you'd still be stupid.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it. Get your desk.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him with one round.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
You're a real asshole. You know that? That's the cop from the newspapers.
How bad is it? Come on, you could tell me.
Hey, there's such a thing as soap, you know?
Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than staying in the garage makes you a
Bust in
car.
there and find the goddamn evidence.
You really think I'm gonna squeal? That's correct. I'm no hood. I'm a killer.
Yeah, I want to make homicide. You know, you've got it made if you can get to that desk.
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be stupid. He's the cop who arrested that movie producer. It's about time some of those movie people went to jail. They think they're untouchable.
I know, yeah. Jack the crack. That's so wrong. Is anybody making coffee soon? What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? Negative.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said, all's fair in love and war.
Suspicious activity, 111 South Alameda. Stand by for further for any Central unit.
Easy.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. he'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Down the left side of the alley.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
What now?
So the kid isn't back somewhere. Let's pick him up.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to land it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means. Come on, Phelps, you're losing that little weasel.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves us all the trouble. Joyride is over, kid.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Looks like we're going into the tunnels.
God damn it, he'll kill himself.
It's all right, as long as he doesn't kill us, I'm okay with it.
Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires.
That is the end of that. It's about fucking time.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. So it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young Phelps.
Where's the code? Has anyone seen that pen?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
No entiendo. I don't matter. We're not dirty in this city anymore. Do I need to find someone to look after me now? You gonna call me or something? Or can I go back to sleep? No way! You didn't know about the insurance money I take it. You know anything about this man? You left at midnight, correct?
Is standing around saying nothing, is this some kind of mental torture?
How long is this gonna take? Am I gonna get out of here tonight? No.
How come this is so hard to believe? A man and a woman getting along, liking each other just as friends.
I know, Yed. I scat to scratch. Is that so wrong?
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it.
She wanted something of his.
Were you at home last Saturday?
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute. But, you know, I'm not so sure.
You trying to sit me down? No way. You didn't know about the insurance money I paid.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
You been to my house? Negative.
You're lying, Tiernan. You've been fighting with her. You fought, and...
I'm not lying! She got up and left! That was it!
Is interview too free? That's correct. Is this a picture of your car? No, sorry. Can you identify the man?
Don't talk about how it was between me and Evelyn. You don't know anything.
Did you get any papers?
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Were you at home last Saturday?
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. A big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a dusting.
You can't expect me to turn me blind eye, can you? That's correct. Is interview too free? Yeah, okay. Is the captain in? Don't throw it around. Are you there? Anyone seen where Miss Wells went? No, Diendo. Did you get any papers? No way. Nope. Am I posted there? Did anyone see my pen?
You got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there? You're going to have to do better than that, Detective.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid. Looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Ah. Very good. That's one to you, Detective.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, Detective. The party has good lawyers.
I didn't want to arrest the kid, so I gave him a dusting.
You got a problem, pal?
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks for your help.
You got a stakeout down on 2nd later tonight.
What the hell is the LAPD up to these days? Did you get new package?
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Is the cop in there? He was in the bathtub. And he'd taken one of his fingers. Is interview PC?
You spoken to McCaffrey? I can go, it's all been cleared up?
Not quite. We have one more question we need to ask, James. Then I think we will be done.
Sure. Go ahead.
Anyone seen Miss Wells today? I ain't talking to you. Where's the phone?
So Evelyn passed out, and you walked out. What happened next?
I woke up in the morning. Very hungover. I thought Evelyn would have come back.
After she left, you never saw her again?
No. Unfortunately, no.
Wait here.
Do I need to find someone to look after me?
Help me out.
Put the heat to one of them, Phelps. Your choice.
You see that new package?
James Tiernan, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. I believe you didn't know what you were doing. I'll speak to the DA on your behalf. That's the best I can do for you now.
I'm going to assume that you both have very good excuses for what happened in my station today. You had a perfectly good candidate for a capital case, and somehow managed to choose a weak-willed sub-sister, while the murderous Red walks scot-free. I'm having doubts about what you're prepared to do to make a case, Phelps. If ever there was a time for manufacturing evidence, or extracting a confession, this was it! Now get out of my sight! Run down pickpockets and fruit flies, and leave the real work for men of substance.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead, first platoon's in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Then we rally with the first and try for the Nambus.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and enfilade.
Mate,
we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes!
I'm in charge here, Sergeant!
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
Ooh, I got it.
goddamn ruined. You're having a season from hell.
No one else but the killer knew about this message. To suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night. Another snippet from the Shelley poem. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrell.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Fuck it. I knew this run was too good to be true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed to... What does he want it
Where are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
A what? Story with 2 meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain? Thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it if you can get that gas.
I don't need this?
Ooh, I got it.
Hey, I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
All those cases, Rusty. What have I been telling you all along?
We've got to get this guy.
I know. Enough women have died.
Yeah, and it's our asses on the line too, Phelps. You heard what the captain said. The department is not going to take responsibility for all those bad convictions.
Success is a double-edged sword.
Let's just get this sick pervert and have it done with.
Where'd you learn to drive?
Rather you than me, Phelps.
I think his name is Phelps. I read about him in the paper.
You know, the local hobos use that as a latrine.
You're a real asshole, you know that?
There is a cave, all overgrown with trailing, odorous plants which curtain out the day. Where next? Elizabeth Short, Betty Short, Black Dahlia.
Elizabeth Short's social security card.
Jesus Christ.
That's not all. There's another stanza from Shelley.
Can you work it out? You got a city map? See if you can work out where he's taking us. I don't like this freak leading us around by the nose.
drove me up to Mulholland and we did some necklace.
Call these grits? That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Oxymoron for you.
I think his name is Phelps. He brought in that case where that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Him. It's really him. The fuck who killed the Dahlia. Can you believe this? He's leading us.
It's his game, Rusty. He may want someone to catch him, but he's extremely dangerous. I doubt if he will give up easily.
Suits me down to the fucking ground. We clip this fuck and we get citation. What a day to be a cop. That pencil-pushing Parker won't be able to shove me aside after this.
All units to citizen reports a 211 in progress at 9th and Grand. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Can I help you, sir?
Detectives, LAPD. This is very important, sir. How do we get to the top of the chandelier?
You what?
Have a little faith, pal. We're in a real hurry.
Head up to the top floor. There's an access panel and a ladder in the maintenance room.
Skeleton goes into a bar and orders a beer and a mop.
Let's go.
I'm going out there, Rusty.
Deirdre Muller's missing watch. From the temples high of man's ear and eye, roofed over sculptures and poesy. Where have I seen that?
Jesus Christ, close it off that goddamn thing. Find a rope, Rusty. There isn't time. See if you can swing that thing from side to side. Get it over the edge, then jump for it. Wait. Come on. It's gonna go any second. Swing that goddamn thing and jump for it.
That was too close.
Yeah, well, the higher you climb, the further you fall.
Let's get out of here.
Another Dahlia clue?
No. A yellow gold wristwatch.
The Molder Dame.
Yes. And a scrap of the poem.
Another location.
If I can work it out. He keeps mementos from all his victims.
This guy needs to be taken out of circulation.
He takes pleasure at stringing us along, demonstrating how much smarter he is.
You can enjoy it while it lasts. We got you now, genius. We're coming for you.
point. I'm pulling rank here, Cole. I'm not hauling myself up there. Go get him, Tiger.
You'd slow me down anyway, old-timer.
I'm pulling rank here, Cole. I'm not hauling myself up there. Go get him, Tiger.
You'd slow me down anyway, old-timer. Sometimes a step backwards is a step in the right direction. Our Lady of Guadalupe, ripped from Antonia's necklace. Round which death laughed, sepulchred emblems of dead destruction, ruin within ruin. So this is a treasure hunt.
What is it this time?
The religious medal from the Maldonado
Medallia,
case.
Molar, Maldonado. When this gets out...
We still have to find the guy, Rusty.
Another poem. Well, you must have some idea, right? Come on, Phelps. We're on a roll here. Don't let me down.
That's a guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now there's an honest moron for you. I think his name is Phelps. He brought in that case where that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Hey, there's such a thing as soap, you know.
gonna catch hell for this. Banging up innocent men.
The newspapers will crucify the guy. They won't have time to wonder about our mistakes. We'll be okay, Rusty, as long as we catch the guy.
I hope you're right, Cole. We'll be famous if we make this case.
You're gonna kill us!
Hey, Cole, let's get moving. These are my best shoes, Phelps. I'll leave you to it.
Very funny.
Whoa! Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking. You want to end up like the other fossils? The gangway stakes around, Phelps. Can you see it through the tar?
Easy.
How you doing out there?
I'd be doing better if you were the one trying to get across this thing. Steady.
You don't want to fall in now, Phelps.
It's at the forefront of my thinking. Easy.
Get a move on, Cole. Those boards are sinking. You want to end up like the other fossils?
Whoa!
Gangway snakes around, Phelps. Can you see it through the tar? How you doing out there?
I'd be doing better if you were the one trying to get across this thing. Easy. Steady.
You don't want to fall in now, Phelps.
That's at the forefront of my thinking. One of Teresa Terrelson's shoes. A sphere which is as many thousand spheres. Okay, where to now?
What is it?
An open-toed white shoe and another stanza from a poem.
Oh, I really thought that hobo bum did the Terrelson broad.
Confessions from the insane aren't the most credible evidence, Rusty.
Is this thing over?
It's all part of his power over us, making us run round all over the city for the crumbs he's leaving us.
So if we keep this up, we can find the guy? This guy looks out for women in bars who've had too much to drink.
Who are emotionally disturbed.
Need a shoulder to cry on, he plies them with booze.
Probably offers them a lift home.
Then beats their brains out and strangles them. Could be any schmo hanging out in a bar.
No, not anyone. He displays the bodies, leaves us messages. For all the violence, it's very controlled behavior.
And on it goes. When do you think we'll reach the end of this thing?
The center of the proverbial labyrinth? How long's a piece of string? How many unsolved murders have we got in the city?
How many solved ones?
Isn't he the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases?
This guy must have escaped from the loony bin.
What are we waiting for?
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
This guy's got a screw loose.
Gently.
I'm stumped.
Bunch
Ideas?
of spheres. Planets, maybe? You got any idea?
Advice?
Bunch of spheres. Planets, maybe? You got any idea?
So what next?
Bunch of spheres. Planets, maybe? You got any idea?
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
What do you think?
Bunch of spheres. Planets, maybe? You got any idea?
I'm at a loss.
Bunch of spheres. Planets, maybe? You got any idea?
На этом пока что все. Продолжение следует. Не забываем подписываться на мой канал, ставить лайки, комментарии. Всем заранее спасибо.